There is increasing pressure on government to fix the country, a falling currency and rising inflation. Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has announced the closure of shops to force duty bearers to fix the economy.
Now, as we speak, the exchange rate is around 13 Ghana cedis to the dollar, whilst we started the year with a rate of 6.2. At the same time, the commercial lending rate is hovering around 38% when we started the year with around 22%. It is obvious that we cannot contain this any longer, as it is increasingly getting unbearable. We want to give a pinch to the government to recognize that there is a sense of urgency in this situation. On this note, by the authority vested in me, by the trading community, I declare all shops in Greater Accra closed from tomorrow, Wednesday, 19th October 2022 to Monday. Thank you very much. So what it means is that we are closing down our shops and we open for business on Monday.
Another stakeholder in the trading industry, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, have also declared their support for GUTA and have decided to close their shops as well. Samuel Agri is its General Secretary.
And what we are doing that in conjunction with GUTA. And therefore, their members would want to go the long haul. Our members will also go up to Friday because we are only sending a signal to government that this is the problem that we are facing. And it will not be fair. When they are closed down, we are still operating. So that is why we did that to support, to drive home what is happening. If government is sleeping, this is the time that they need to wake up to know what exactly is going on. The Council of State made us understood that what they are doing, they've been able to speak to government, and therefore certain measures will be announced. For us, the sweetness of the food is in the pudding. When you are eating, you know that that is where you have gotten it. So if there's any measures that they have taken, they should announce it for us to know. Otherwise, to say that tomorrow we are going to, as it were, allow it to flow side by side without any government intervention, it will be very difficult because we've heard it over and over and over. We have done this, which is not there. We have done this, which is not there. But this is a time that if there is anything that they have to do, they should announce it for us to move on.
Samson Awingobet is the Executive Secretary of the Ghana Importers and Exporters Association. He says cold stores and all importers and exporters will close their offices for the period.
We thank the Council of State for their intervention. However, they could not solve the problem. In their intervention, they can't solve the inflation. They can't solve the exchange rate. These are two major things that is killing the business community. If you say you want to give a special rate for pot for the rest of the 3 months, good. But what rate? Because if you say there was a meeting, because per the Deputy Minister of Trade, he's saying that there was a meeting and they agree that they will give special rate to the business community. And today, the rate has moved from 9.6. When it moved from 7.2 to 9.5, you remember there was a cry out all over the media houses. Today, it has moved from 9.6 to 10.7. What's the difference? And so you have continued telling that there is hope. There's no hope anywhere. So we are saying, if you are an importer, if you are a cold store operator, that means you bring in frozen food. You are in Okase, you are in Tema, you are in Makola, you are in Katamanto, even if you are in Kumasi as well. We are declared that whether you are an importer, you are a wholesaler, you are a distributor, tomorrow close.
Well, that is the situation there, and we'll be bringing you the scoop live from the Central Business District of Accra. We know GUTA is protesting the general economic conditions. You heard the President, Dr. Obeng, there. So it's not just about the exorbitant taxes. It's also about the economic conditions, government's policies, investment laws, among myriad other concerns they have. Joining us via the phone lines, we have Samson Asaki Awingobit of the Importers and Exporters Association. Mr. Awingobit, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining the conversation.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Great. How would you describe the current situation, and which has precipitated this situation where GUTA says we're shutting our shops from today? We're bringing our viewers the scoop on that, but the information we're picking up is that the shops are indeed shut. Do you think this is the right way to go?
Well, let me say a very big good morning to all the listeners. And let me say kudos to the leadership, the current leadership of GUTA. I think if you want to know, I've been one of the guys who has been very passionate, very vociferous on GUTA leadership, that I was questioning their leadership style because I realized that the business community, where I sit, I see how the business community are frustrating when they come to port every week and duty rates kept on growing high, increasing, and people have to run helter skelter. At the end of the day, people who end up not getting the duties end up their goods being auctioned to people who have not gone beyond the Mediterranean Sea to buy goods and bring it flying all the way to go to China and other countries to buy goods and come to this country. It's not easy, my brother. And so if one will bring the goods and cannot get the money to pay the duty, and he will be watching his goods to go on auction, it calls for suicidal. So if you can have any blame, they should blame the government for sitting there aloof and allowing this to happen. And there's no way that we will sit aloof. Business community must protect their property, their little last capital. That's their lifeline.
Mr. Awingobit, if yes, you can hear me, when you say government has sat basically arms akimbo, sitting aloof and looking on, you've also noticed that the policy rate has been changed. You've noticed that the government has gone for an IMF bailout. You've noticed that it has admitted that things are not the way they ought to be. In fact, just today, we read in one of the papers about the Information Minister, Kojo Nkrumah, talking about the global situation we're facing and how even going to the IMF is going to, cost us. So how can you say that government is sitting aloof?
Well, government overspent. Government spent excessive during 2020 election. Government knew that we have a fiscal policy law in this country. Government exceeded that fiscal policy. That is why if you go to the Bank of Ghana, ask of interest, exchange rate, you ask of the interest rate, you ask of why the inflation is going, he will tell you that it has to do with fiscal policy. And that if they have to do with fiscal policy, we should not come to Bank of Ghana and ask questions. We should go where we should go. Meaning we should go to the Minister of Finance. You go to the Minister of Finance, you ask them why exchange rate, why the Bank of Ghana keeps on increasing the prime rate. The finance minister will tell you that if you have to do with currency management, it does not lie in the purview of him, and that we should go to we should go to Bank of Ghana. So if you have these two major institutions not working together, that is where you put the country to. That's the kind of stress we find ourselves. Indeed, you go to about last month, customs were using 7.2 to calculate duty. They moved from 7.2 to 10 to 9.5. We cried. We asked why. When they stated that 1 series plus increment of duty at the port, you move it again from last 2 weeks from 9.5 to 9.6. It increased by a peso. Just yesterday, when the government said that, I heard the deputy minister trying to explain that they tried to meet the business community halfway, but the business community refused it. It is palpable lies. When you know that you had meeting last week where you said the finance minister participated virtually from USA, the governor of Bank of Ghana was in that meeting. The minister of trade was in that meeting. That we agreed that they will give a special rate at least for this Christmas selling or for this Christmas clearance of goods at the port. Why do you move the rate from 9.6 to 10.7? Meaning the government is not ready. The government itself is creating the wounds on us. And so we cannot sit down to say all is well when all is not well. You could see yesterday. I wish you were at international conference center. You would have asked yourself, why are we doing something here? Was there any national program going on at the international conference center or what? You would have seen how anger. In fact, when our brother, His Excellency Honorable Pa and Song, a former GUTA top executive who's now a member of Council of State, wanted to appeal to us to call up of this right. A woman shouted from the back and said, look, my brother, we cannot, our capital is dying. So many of us are taking care of our children. Our husbands are dead. And this is where we find ourselves. So I can tell you, I think they thought we were joking. You could see to this morning that the whole Opera Square went ghost. The whole Okase will go ghost. The whole Abosokai will go ghost. I have appealed to our people imposing food importers in Tema. I said they should also close. If by today and tomorrow nobody close, then it means that those people are having, perhaps, maybe they are getting a special contract from the government to do their business. Maybe they are getting a loan from bank at 0% because perhaps maybe they may have a relationship with the government. But for the majority, the ordinary Ghanaians go to bank. And even as we speak, banks are not even ready to give loans out to business community as we speak now. And so, if you knew very well that what the LRA can do to help the business community, why do you move up from 9.6 to 10.7? Meaning the government itself, you talk to us different, then you act different. And so we have no choice than to react the same. So ordinary consumers, we have to protect consumers. And mind you, the business.
So you're saying, Mr. Awingobit, that this was the only means that could be adopted in seeking redress, that laying down your tools and you know the consequences of your actions, right? This was the only alternative?
What are the consequences that you think is going to affect them? Don't you think that it is better for the Makola woman to keep the warehouse, the goods at the store, and if the supply costs him or her to say, pay me, month is due, because most of them buy it on credit. 90 days, 30 days, 60 days, you have to pay. So when the 60 days come and he hasn't sell, he will get called. So if you think I'm lying, send the rep to come and see. Because of the inflation that's catching me, because of the exchange rate, I can't sell. I can't even price, assuming without admitting that someone was pricing his goods around March. Maybe around March, $1 was 6 cities, isn't it? Because a year began with 6 cities or 8 cities. Then you say, oh, let me do it 9 cities, plus or minus, if the city will depreciate. Now the city moved from 9 cities to 10 cities to 12.2. What do we do? How do you price? Even you, if you give money to your wife or your mother or your sister or even your colleague in the office to go and buy you something, and you go to come and tell the mother, I even added money before I can package this thing for you. You will not believe. But until you get to the market, before you know how the market women are struggling. And the point is, why would I go to commercial bank and I see a lower rate that I will say I want to buy forest to pay my supplier. Then the commercial bank will tell them that they don't have, I suppose, a land. Who did the Bank of Ghana give the forest to? When the Bank of Ghana arrest the black market people, where is the forest? How much forest do they realize from the market? When they did that, that's stupid. So the government is the one that is introducing the issues. If there's no transparency in your policy, if there's no transparency in your government, this will be sort of the replication you see strike everywhere, strike every now. And I'm telling you,
Mr. Awingobit, so just hold for me. They are very important points you're making, and I'll come back to you on some of the points you've made. Essentially, we'll be looking at the banks, and yes, I have heard too that they are not giving out forex unless you're traveling, and for business people, it's becoming a problem. So when the central bank says, look, don't go to the black market and all of that, what is the reality? There's also the issue of TAG, the Traders Advocacy Group, and what they've been saying that for them, it's not a time to shut down shops. But just hold for me. Let me bring in Charles Kusi Apia. I'll be right back to you, Mr. Awingobit. So you represent the Edum business community. Tell me, you've already embarked on a similar, shutdown of shops. What has emanated from there? Are you getting the results you seek?
Okay, good morning to you and to your viewers. Last week, there was some interventions from Menchia, which obviously precipitated us getting back to business.
When you say there was an intervention from Menchia, are you saying Otumfo had to step in?
That was the Asante Hima have to step in to talk to us, to assure us that they'll do what it takes to get us redress to the issues that we have raised. Subsequent to that, we had the invitation from the regional minister, which we met with him last Friday.
Simon Osei
Yesterday, that's right. Yesterday, we received a further invitation to meet with him and GRA on Monday for deliberations. So basically, that is what caused us to get back to businesses.
Okay, so you are back, so to speak.
Definitely. We get our shops reopened on Friday.
Tell me, you've been there, you've done that. What the Central Business District of Accra is doing, what GUTA Accra is doing, you have already done. Was it worth it? Let me ask you that question. Was it worth it?
It does. If there's a better way to define wealth, we probably will use that. Your business are collapsing. There's no way out. Government was supposed to probably bring out policy interventions, seems not to care. And out of that desperation, the only option that you have is to close down your shops and save the little sanity and investment that you have as a business person. It really helped a lot.
You say it really helped a lot. I'm going to push you on that angle because guess what? You are back. The exchange rate has gone up even further from the time you laid down your tools or said you wouldn't open your shops to now. The exchange rate has actually gone out further. The least you would get now, at least from what I hear, is 12 cedis 45 to the American greenback, the dollar. So what exactly did your shutting down of shops achieve for you?
Okay, so we did not close down our shop because of forest rates.
Of course, I'm just raising that because there are other underlying issues. But I'm saying, for example, you order stuff, they come into the country. Nothing has changed. Government has not been able to do anything between when you shut down your shops and now. Nothing has changed. In fact, if anything, some of the metrics have become worse.
Yes, we are so much aware that government has given us information that when it comes to inflation rate, dollar rate, or forest rates, policy rates, it's influenced by Russian and Ukraine war, and that there's least that he can do about it. But our concern was about the VAT policy, which probably could have been a safe haven for us, but rather than becoming a canker to our businesses. So our point was, if government have no control over those external factors causing high inflation, causing policy rate high, causing forest highs, at least for VAT, he has control over it. So can't you then look at what else do I have control over so I can probably push businesses to keep the economy running? If businesses are doing well, the economy start doing well. And government obviously will have some space to push the agenda of making Ghana what we call beyond aid. But for now, all hopes, all controls, government probably have thrown in signs in despair. And we can also look on concern. That is why we decided to say, government, if you are probably running out of the ideas to run the economy, to save businesses, probably you could be looking at the tax policies and see how best we can protect businesses now.
So that is one key area when it comes to taxation that you want government to take a look at. I don't know whether you have specifics that you would like them to address apart from what you've mentioned. You've mentioned the VAT. Beyond that, what do you feel government can do? I mean, sometimes you bring up these subjects and government will tell you, look, what exactly do you think we can do? When it comes to taxation, we've been told that, you know, on various taxes, even the taxes on petroleum products, which affect you as well, that, listen, there's nothing we can do about it. Mr. President said it on May Day. So what is the reality of what you're calling for? Is it realistic for you that something can be done?
Something can be done. It only takes government commitment to listen to the plight of businesses within a certain market that will operate at the FMCG is so unique market that government probably have not averted its mind to understand the dynamics within the market.
Right.
We are saying government, we're looking for revenue. Within our market, there's a lot of revenue, but your policies are shortchanging you that you are not maximizing on your revenue mobilization. And for that, you are also destroying or collapsing businesses. You are losing, you are also collapsing businesses. So is there a way, probably you can listen to us, let's show you the way. When it comes to the VAT, there's a cascading effect on businesses. And it's disincentive to those who have raised it as VAT agents. And competition in the market will not allow us even to charge the VAT. So we are not paying realistic VAT, and you are losing.
I see.
And because you are not paying, you will come to us through GRA that you want to surcharge us. We have not charged. Then we are compelled to use our working capital to pay for VAT. In doing so, we are depleting our working capital. It will get to a time we will be totally out of business and you will not get revenue from the market again. So your approach is not sustainable. It is counterproductive. It is collapsing businesses. Can we look at a certain regime that will support you as government in maximizing your revenue whilst you protect businesses and promote the agenda of Ghana Beyond Aid? So we said that the FMCG market cannot be compared to any other market. So is it possible instead of VAT, let's go back to the sales tax? Where
so what do you want? You want VAT scrapped, at least for now?
For the FMCG market, it's not supportive. Let's go to sales tax.
So just confirm, you want it scrapped for now?
Exactly so within the FMCG market. Because government it's an imported policy which doesn't support the dynamics within the FMCG market. One, the poor equity within the market with the introduction of VAT. With this market, we have zero rated VAT, we have 4%, we have people paying standard rate. Within the same market, how do you expect competition to be healthy? Of course, then we will push ourselves to the zero rated, so I can stay alive, so I can meet my bank payment, I can pay my staff, I can pay for rent, I can pay for supplies for my suppliers. That is what has been happening all this while. So take it off, let's go to sales tax, take all the revenue you want to take at the port of entry, take all the revenues you want at manufacturing end. So when goods get to the market, there's fairness, there's equity, there's healthy, and there's total compliance.
All right.
So that we can pay our corporate income tax to you, we can pay our payee to you. You enjoy as government, business have their peace to operate, and the country wins. That's has been our position.
Right. Let me bring in some concerns, and then we'll look at the way forward as far as your business community is concerned. So there's the lending rate. I'll be wrapping with you shortly, but there's the lending rate, which, as Dr. Obeng of GUTA has mentioned, has moved from 22 to about 38%. What has been the impact of that? And we also hear that some banks are simply not willing to give you dollars for you to use to import items, and so you're having to fall on the black market. Is that your reality as well? Very briefly on that.
Exactly so. The moment lending rate goes high, borrowing rate goes high, and cost of doing business also goes high. Now, with the inflation, disposable income has been affected. The moment you want to pass on cost to the consumer, he will not buy. So sales have dropped. And for banks not willing to give us forex for transaction, it's obvious that we have depleted our reserves. The only option for any business person who wants to stay alive is to look at an alternative source of getting forex. And obviously that's the black market. So BOG cannot be emotional about this and says, I'm going to arrest them. What have been alternative solution? Until you provide means where banks can have excess forex to meet import demand, don't attack those that are supporting business to stay alive. Probably find ways of regularizing them so the market becomes active. You probably will get ways of also increasing your reserves as a BOG or central bank to support other commercial banks in meeting demand from importers. Until that is done, leave businesses to stay alive. We probably will find ways of surviving. Don't come and tackle that point that we can survive as businesses.
All right. So for you, what is the way forward? My final bit to you. What is the way forward in all of this? Because, yes, it's the general business community across the country. And is there the likelihood that if things remain the same, even after the intervention of the Asante Hima, you could actually shut down your shops again if things become worse? Because look, the projections from economists are that the slump in the currency will continue, that inflation will continue. Some have even suggested that inflation could hit 40% plus, and that, now our currency is the worst in the world. If we continue on that trajectory, is it likely the Edum business community will shut down shops once more? Very briefly on that.
Okay, so way out, government must be responsive. Government must show leadership. Government must be proactive. And in designing policies that resonate with the current economic challenges within the business market.
Right.
Government cannot sit apart and propose solutions that does not more or less consonate with what reality is in the market. It is time for government to sit down with business and say, where is the way out? Business have the solutions. Probably we could prefer solutions that government have not averted its mind to, so we can get our system back to work again. This is the only country we have. We don't take joy in seeing us going through this. So when we are talking, it means there's something at stake that we are scared of.
I think this point has already been made. So the question is it likely, is it possible if things get worse, will you shut down your shops again? Just answer that for me.
We definitely will go back to Obahima, Asante Hima, for her blessings for us to close our shops again. If we don't see that leadership and response from government.
All right.
We definitely have to do that.
Right. Charles, we're grateful for your time. Charles Kusiapia is the Edum, with the Edum business community, and he was sharing his thoughts there about what they are facing, the intervention of the Asante Hima, which has brought them back. But the crucial point he just made at the end, which I had to push him to, yes, is that if things keep escalating, getting worse, then they will have to, in consultation with the Asante Hima or Bahima, shut down their shops again. Let me come to Samson Asaki Awingobit of the Importers and Exporters Association. Samson, thank you for your patience. So right before I went to Charles, I wanted to bring in the bit about the Traders Advocacy Group Ghana. They have put out a statement. They enumerate the very things you're speaking of, but they also make mention of the fact that this is not the time to shut down shops, that if you shut down the shops, your business will be affected, your income will be affected, and it doesn't add anything basically to the situation. It doesn't change the circumstances we have to deal with. How do you respond to that?
Well, thank you very much. And good morning to my very good friend Amate and Nanapoku. It is within their constitutional right. They are a body of an organization, and they spoke to their members. But at the other aspect, they agreed with us. They are saying that even though open, but in your shops, put red. In your shops, wear black and red today. So why would they be wearing red and black? Why would they be flying red armband in their shops? And you think they are not in support? They are in 100% support. That is their style of demonstrating or communicating to the government. So if there's no funeral, if there's no international death, why are we all mourning in our market? So it means that it's a way of communicating to the government. But I can tell you, with the kind of silent way of the way the Bakola, Okase, and Katimanto are all closing, I know TAC members would also, they won't even be comfortable that you watch Antimansa, you watch Ajewa, you watch Ekopi, you watch Mr. Mansa, then they've all closed their shops, and then you alone will continue to be sitting there like, oh, for me, I won't close my shop. I mean, it will not be easy for them, and I know definitely they will also close down the shop to get, because if you are actually wearing red at your shop today, fly red flag, then what next is to close your shop. So they have their right. That's the way they want to communicate. But the point is, the strong signal that is sending to the government, we are seeing it this morning on your own screen. You can see in the market there. That's a very busy place. And I'm not quite sure if you go to this market where your screen is showing now, you will tell that there are shops there who does not belong, who will not belong to tax people. So the tax members are there, and they've also closed. And so we are not going to belabor on this. I know my friends how passionate they are, how they also are feeling, how their members are also feeling. Yesterday, I said, come to conference center. You see how market women leave the market and come to take Macaulay women to leave the market there and come to conference center. You look at where the location of conference center is, and they could come there. That tells you how they are suffering. So look, in Kumasi, as you just spoke to my friend Charles, appear from there. You see, the president is in Kumasi. Why didn't the president take the time to go and meet the traders at Edum to find out what can be done to live their plight? You see, so the government is not ready. If the government is not ready, this is the way we meet with the government. And this is just one activator. If the government doesn't listen and don't give us the special rate that they want to give us at the port will not. We will go to port. We will tell agent not to pay it. We will demonstrate at port as well. And I'm not quite sure that's what the government wants to see. If Makola is shut down, the whole Ghana shut down.
If Makola is shut down, the whole Ghana shuts down. Right before we cross over to the Central Business District, where my colleague Bernice Abubedu is standing by, just a quick one. So Charles spoke about the VAT and how it should not apply to certain businesses and all of that. What for you then? What are your proposals? Do you agree with him? And what else do you think should be done, at least to cushion those of you in the business community? Briefly, please.
We know what government can take short term to medium, long term to correct it for us. The short term is the rate at which customs are using at the port, which is coming from the government that use this rate this week, use this rate tomorrow. We are doing this because we don't want to know about tomorrow and next week, Tuesday, the government will up it again from 10.7 to like 20 cities. Say, okay, look, GUTA people come, imported as well as come. We want to use 20 cities for the rest of the year, knowing that by before December, the dollar might hit 15 or 20 cities. We don't want that. So if they will do something now, they do it now for us. We don't want any increment at the port. Two, we know the government, this VAT that they're talking about, when you were talking about the FG, what do you call it? That is the confectionery importer, those who bring in food, okay, food and beverage. We were trying to say that at least government should be able to give some tax exemption on food. Because now the September statistics shows that food actually went up by 22%, food and utility tariff went up by 122%, isn't it? So medicine, we are appealing that medicine is essential commodity. Food is essential commodity. This VAT Amendment Act should exempt them so that at least they will be in position to also enjoy what is Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians consumers can also enjoy. So that is it, my brother. Let the government respond to that, and we'll also take it from there. Yeah, madam.
Well, Mr. Awingobit, we're grateful that you took the time to engage us this morning. Can you hear me, Mr. Awingobit? All right, we appear to have lost Mr. Awingobit there. But let's cross over to Abosokai, that hub where, in fact, a lot of car parts are sold. My colleague Samuel Kojo Brace, is standing by. Kojo, if you can hear me, what is the latest that you can report from that end of town where spare parts dealing is actually very active? Are they out there doing business?
If you can hear me, I'm in Abosokai now, and I tell you what, I've been here for like 15 minutes. Almost all the shops here have closed. If you can see from my background, you can see that all of these stores have closed. You have workers hanging around, and ask them why they are here. They tell me it's because they need to be here to explain to some of their customers who will be coming probably to try and understand what the situation is, and also to speak to people like us who will be here to try and get some information as to what's happening. I mean, the place, I'm told, is really dead because according to those who know this place, by now, this road behind me should be full of vehicles and people, but that's not the case. I mean, wherever you turn, all the stores have been closed. I mean, that's the situation here in Abosoka. It's just that these people are following what their leaders ask them to do. I have some people here with me who I want to engage to find out from them, how far with this whole thing. I mean, it's the whole Abosoka is dead when you talk about business. Chief, to say, let me try and engage this man. I'm sure because of I will speak to him in Akan and I'll translate for you. Tell me to say, Mpacho kasa de mama. Mpacho aye. Na oye adwuma ha. Mpacho aye. Enti ene ya matutu mi yesi ma mba na mo aboye de. Ene no ye ba ase ye be face demonstration ne benya ba so antini ye ba. Na watu mo mbeza mo ye demonstration so kan. Abe pese aban no echichiri bank managers mo na ni black market for ne ye dollar no connection. Enti e ma o man ye dollar na ho aye de. Yes, aban no e kere ni ko bank managers no. Enti aban so on na ni bank managers ni. Okay. Bank dollar na see because some the black market for no more interest. Okay. I don't know my okay. So Benny, he is basically saying that they want government to ensure that the bank managers are dealt with because he is alleging that the bank managers have been conniving with these black market people and they have caused the dollar to fall to the rate or to the level it is now. So he's blaming the bank managers, or he's alleging that the bank managers have been working with the black market guys to ensure that the dollar falls really hard. Let me try and engage more people. Okay. Now, and they are more to also didn't know to shop. Yenti am tu mu no say o sika kotwa de ne na obeton wa o so be koto fufuro be ko na ya tu na do profit na ka ho di adwuma wo ye na mfa so bi e maso don't tell me ya to stone say be ya on be stabilize dollar na man ye dwadie no so atimi akoso na enwa so man ya timu no ebi e ya adwuma gi dollar school bi o ha do ba be kwa utua dollar na o man no so o man pani timi hwa ma say ne ma ne koso obi ko tua import duty a eso ko tua dollars e de na say basa citizens ni edi o man ni kine ne ma be ho nko yie man yen adwadi fo no moko quarter mutua dollars yes it is na mutua e bi tua dollars because in freight no mo working in dollars na man so mo working in dollars na what you are city and I yes e bi tua dollars e bi tua cities na say ejuada na say bibi ansesa ya I know better yeah to say ya yeah me so mo kasa de ano cha so mo so ne ani ye na bia bibi no mo hwehwe nti no mo beso me ye ne sa se ne ma no ko form de ya nsa sika ye bi eti wonim se so mo ye to yes sir me makra okay so this man is also saying that the government is to check what happens at the ports because some people are still paying in dollars at the port, and he believes that is why the city is misbehaving this way. He doesn't understand why we live in a country where our official currency is cedi, but when you go to the port, you have to pay in dollars. I've been asking him, I think you pay in cedi equivalent of the dollar. He says no, some people pay in dollars. So that's what he's saying. But he seemed not to know that they will be opening their stores on Monday. He says that if that's the case, then their leadership are not dealing with them well. He believes that they have to continue as far as the economic conditions have not been bettered. He feels they have to close their stores till further notice. But he says that on Monday, even if they are going to open, he will not open his store. Thank you, Chief. That's it. You were blaming some hotels as well? Some hotels also did Dallas. No, man. Okay. He says some hotels also do charge in dollars. He doesn't understand why that should be the case. But if you can see behind me, I mean, everywhere is just is empty. I mean, the street here is empty per the standards of Abosoka. That if you come to this place, I mean, it's like this time you should have a lot of traffic here. But today, that is not the case. The road is empty because the stores have closed and nothing is happening. you can see a lot of people just sitting, idling around, not doing basically anything. It's a kind of situation that when you come to Abosokan here, you just see that people are idling around. They are sitting here doing basically nothing. They are still obeying their leadership. That if the economy is not in a better shape, we will not be opening up. So let me try and engage some of them here this morning. Now, it's a running now, and then Matutumo stores, we are she consider more ahead. Then, as I can see, I can't go ahead.
You're pretty for that case before the be on the Maya Code, you have to case almost say, be a 1 month, and I never boy. So if you are a public academy, or the same Kolaufi, we say almost say, you to a copy Monday. For the 5 days, I know what they mind. With the better, so we don't worry. Now,
and Tunya and Kamunian is how many days?
Yeah, and all my information and know them. I don't catch them Monday. Monday now, Wednesday, get to some and will be a so. That's a problem. They say school fees, school fees, and then, but 12 years are from Wednesday to Monday, 5 days. And you have small. It's the beginning of buying, so almost no Canada. It's $1 today, a bear as you give a banner.
What the Obeji Kuliko Kakana from who's a because you need
oh, I say market.
Oh, okay.
Yo, yeah, will be bar. Yet, will be bar. You didn't son, be a yama. And I'll be here in no bar. Be yama. That's all penny for no one. Oh, maybe situation you'll be here in another situation. Oh, then I'm going to be power by ma. No more put now. No magic. Yeah, you was saying, so I'm more interested in him. I'm paying for Sunday.
Okay.
So, we buy a man at the moment. Then I will wonder, saying, you oh,
okay.
When there was such a more to do, there was such a so but said people is here on Papa and I'm you buy up a man. Yeah, what is the young way?
Okay.
The new way.
All right.
So,
okay.
It's
okay. So, what he's saying is that the leadership of GUTA could have given them more education, at least for a month, before this demonstration got started. He feels that, I mean, the notice they gave them is short and they have kids. So, he, for example, cannot sit at home without doing business. So he's here. I mean, if you come and you want to buy something, he would ensure that he serves you because, I mean, he cannot do what the leadership are asking. He is again asking that if government can do something about their plight, government should so that they can reopen as fast as possible. But he's also blaming the leadership for probably doing things in their own interest, not in the larger interest of the traders, but interesting perspectives. Yeah, I tell you what, Abosokan is an empty space today. The offices are shut. I mean, I've not seen, from where I am, I've not seen a single office that has been opened. All the offices have been shut. Just have a look on this particular line. I mean, check. If you can clearly see, I mean, no store on that line has been open. If I should turn around and give you this space as well, you can see that no store there is also open completely. All the stores here have been completely shut. That's what it is. But you also see some people sitting around. I mean, a lot of people are sitting around and just making sure. I don't know whether they want to do business, but I see someone talking here. Let me try and get you close so we can see what the president is talking about. I see this man is saying people should open their stores.
I'm saying we can still demonstrate by wearing our red shirts, put red band, put a red band on your store,
Okay.
and open your store and demonstrate.
Okay.
There are so many ways of demonstration. It is not only shutting the stores is the only way.
Okay.
So that we will continue to engage with the government.
Okay.
So that the remaining money that we have will not go down, will not be destroyed. That is all I'm talking. That is my message.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you feel that when you do this, government will do it other than shutting down your stores?
We will continue to engage the government because I had dialogue. We will continue to have dialogue with the government because they are also human beings. We are also human beings. You understand? The economic hardship is destroying our business. The dollar is destroying our business. You understand? So long as the dollar is destroying our business, the government is finding a solution. The government is finding a solution. Until the solution is found, we will continue to be in business and do whatever we want to do so that they will cushion the economy so that we can be in business. But right now, the small money that we are having, if we go and sit in the house, we will eat them. We will eat them and it will bring more woes to our capital. You understand? So let us protect our capital. The remaining one that is in our hand, let's protect it by doing this small, and wait for the engagement with the government. That is all I'm saying. That's my message.
What's your name and who are you?
I'm Abraham, and I am attack representative, executive. You understand? So we don't believe in shutting stores. We believe in opening our store and still engaging with the government. That is the best way because they have opened their gates for us, their doors for us to come in, to engage with them. So if you close your store, after closing the store, will you go back to them to engage with them? So it's like you are trying to work on them without any respect or something like that. You understand? So that's my message. Thank you.
So he is a member of the Traders Advocates of Ghana. They believe that the solution is not about shutting down the stores. They believe let's get them opened and still engage with government because they've opened their doors to us to engage. I mean, look, wherever you pass here in Abossey-Okai, it's all the stores here have been closed. No store is open here. All the stores, everywhere you pass, all the stores have been closed. You don't have just a single store being open, and you see people who are sitting by. Obviously, I wanted to see how things pan out today. But wherever you go, however you tend to, the stores are shut. But you still have some of these workers here sitting by and having a chat among themselves. The point is, we want government to do something about this. You see that the situation is bad. They want something done about it. But even though the stores have been closed, we are still here trying to, they're talking about themselves. But let me try and see if I can get a few of them to have a chat with me. Chairman, let's say. And they might say, they're going to be Sebi, second. At the end of the day, I was saying, I bind it to us. Now, Sebi and she the dollar and it's the dollar and the for my pick me up 1 million now. I'm our minus right. I got any. Stores and I came there playing borrowed and back. I know who here. Sell right and ban. And no emphasis of no problem. And look, we better to go back to be a obituary. Oh, the old two man up and then who said, honest what I think. Yes, Monday if you have so many hey, I'm 24 by Monday also. I say if you want to say it's a try by the episode. So what he is also saying is that things are difficult for them, and they feel that it is better you close the stores, and for government to feel the heat, they don't agree to reopening the stores, and wearing armbands. So that's how it is. But if you can hear the noise here, well, maybe I should give you the speed. Some two people, in spite of the action that what's happening, they have decided to engage in a brawl. So yeah, that's what you see everybody going there. So it's an interesting phenomenon. Even when people, are closing shops and thinking about how things will go for them, other people have found the need to throw blows at each other. It's not interesting, but I should say that wherever you pass in Abosokai, wherever the stores have all been closed. Every store here, I've not met a single store that has been opened. All the stores here have been shut. I have been here for quite some time. Everywhere I've turned, all the stores have been shut. I have not seen a single store that has been opened. I have not seen one. And you see people sitting by, discussing among themselves, getting to know exactly how the day is going by. It's quite an eyesore here. That a place where you would see businesses thriving, stores open today. What you see are all closed stores.
And that is Kojo Brace, my colleague, reporting live from Abaswokai, where indeed, I don't need to say it. You saw it for yourselves. The stores have been shut, and there was only one person who had defied the order, so to speak, citing the economic difficulty and how he had to take care of children going to school. But from Abaswokai, let's get into the central business district of Accra, where my colleague Bernice Abubeidu Lanza is standing by. Bernice, what is the scene? What are the scenes like today? What is happening there? Have the stores been shut? What is the latest?
Hello, Benjamin. So I'm coming to you from the Opera Square here in Accra. I used the Abuboloshi route into this place, and I could say right from there all the way through to Rawlins Circle up until this point, you can see that shops are closed. Right on my left, you see the shops here are closed. Up there, the shops there are also closed. There are a few shops, though, I saw open, but the PRO of GUTA tells me that these may be traders who do not belong to GUTA, and so he's not surprised that about one or two shops in a shop complex will be open. So just follow me and let's go towards the Melcombe area around Opera Square. I'm just walking out of the car park, and you can see the stores here are also shut. The only people you see trading, Benjamin, are those who ply their wares on tabletops and those who sell drinks and food, and they say they're here to sell to people who may want to come in to do business. So right here you see all the shops are closed. On the extreme right there are people plying their wares, but once again I said these are tabletop traders. Benjamin, let me see if I can get a few traders to speak to. Before coming on air, I was told by some of them that they're just here waiting just in case they receive a counter directive from their leadership in GUTA. But what we are being told is that they are doing this for 5 days. And so we'll quickly try and speak to a few of them here and find out what their concerns are. Interestingly, Melcombe is also closed here. So you can hear a taxi driver shouting at me or minding moyading to it. Things are difficult in the country. Let me find out if I can talk to this gentleman. Okay, he's not willing to speak. But once again, you can see there's a lady selling some duvets and towels and sponges, but she is plying her wares on a tabletop. Hello, ma. Me pacho betu minwa kasa kakra. Me pacho your friend saying. Anoko. Now, on a normal day, senya ahati.
Oh, me be pacho why? Me me to me kasa why?
Okay. All right, so she's redirecting me to somebody else, but it looks like everybody is tight-lipped over here. Let me see if I can get a few people to speak to down there. I can see a group of men who've gathered. It looks like they're willing to speak. Okay, a gentleman here is willing to speak. Medase, what's your name?
My name is Abubakar Lamte.
Okay, Abubakar, on a regular day, what is this place like?
This place is very boring. No shops has opened so far because yesterday it was being announced by training union people over here that no one should come to open a shop for selling.
What do you do here?
Actually, I'm a bookman over here, if I could say, because we're having a union, a taxi union over here. So I'm the one who stay a ticket to them.
So before the closure of the shops, today is a Wednesday. What would this place have been like?
It's too boring because people are not coming because all the shops has been closed.
I'm saying that on a day that the shops were not closed.
Oh yeah.
What is this place like?
It's busy road. Busy. Many people have been coming to buy electricals, fridges, so that they will bring it here and we'll stop a car for them to outlet their goods to their various destinations.
So this is also affecting you as commercial transport owners.
It's affecting, yes, because here is a union. They park. If shops has been open, people will come and purchase or buy their goods. So today no one is coming to bother a car to their various destinations.
All right, okay, thank you so much for speaking to us. So Benjamin, you can imagine that this is having a ripple effect, not only on the traders or those who come to buy from the wholesalers, but also on those who offer services like transportation, those who provide food and water. They definitely will be affected. Headquarters as well will also be affected. All right, so this lady here wants to talk to me. Me pacha ya frau saying?
Your friend me Lucy.
Lucy pacha oya den wa ha.
Ye ton de wa ha, shedwa wa ha.
Okay. Inti mo na mo shedwa wa nim ha. Enya mo nya shop owners.
Ye shop owners. Na me kombia nka. Ye ton de kakra workers ni ba. Na ye ton de na me kombia ye nti ye hwe. So be bia na o.
Dey na wa adenti na mel komem nie. Unim nie nti a.
Na na akufo de wa ye boni papa. Ye nim say sa na etie mi hye kambu ni jeans na mi ko work. Okacha ye say Ghana ye was sky ye was tima ye was koko. Na ye nim so ba bibia ni bo be ye di. Se se akoto mo repotency di udi mo ba tu ensu ye.
So Lucy is exclaiming she's shocked that this is what they have to suffer as traders, because she claims that during the campaign time she wore her canvas shoes and her jeans and she was supporting President Akufo-Addo, and she says the president said we had a lot of money, we had cocoa, timber, gold, and she didn't expect that things will happen this way. She also says that if the shops were opened, she would also sell her wares, because those entering the big shops will, pay attention to those who are selling on tabletops here. But I say near Kosono, a global. A course will be Russia and Ukraine and Tokwano and affecting you. I say or putting measures in place to ensure Senyama Bekoye and also Dre Hussein.
Abanu ya de sereno onu de se bibia senior can say Russia bibia sa na etie wa Ghana de onhwe mai e bi say Ghana ya de ni sa omude omusika ne su Ghana ya sika no so enti onhwe mai na bibia mbafo mai ya sereno onu de ye panicho pa Ghana ye panicho se sia okoto bibia okoto ni buedi hwe mokola show baby ambre mekon bianca eye opera anka ye bebo 8 o'clock opera na nkronfo na me na ye to ade e no bia ambie enti yesre no nhwe na bibia dollar na akosuru sudodo yesre.
So Lucy is also saying that the exchange rate is really affecting them. The cedi to the dollar ratio is nothing to write home about. She is saying that fine, there may be things happening globally, but she wants the president to focus on fixing the situation here in Ghana. So Benjamin, I mean, like this lady selling water here, and let me try and find out from her how this is affecting her, because like I said, the ripple effect is massive. Good morning. Me pacho to be no akasa kakra. Oh, Debbie, enya Akufo-Addo asem na yeka. Okay, so this lady says she won't talk because her father is a Akufo-Addo. Okay, she says the president is number one. All right. Okay, so we'll try to speak to a few more people, but basically what is happening here is the closure of shops is affecting other traders who rely on the numbers that come here every day to engage in business. So those who are selling food, those who are selling water, those who are involved in transportation. Good morning, sir. Can I speak to you briefly? What's your name?
My name is Ahmed Ejari.
Ahmed, are you a taxi driver?
No. I have a store in here.
Okay, so you have a shop. What do you sell?
We sell TV, we sell home appearances.
Okay, so on a typical day, what is this place like and how is business for you?
Oh, what I can say, formally I can see the business are flowing, but these days the business have dropped based on how the economy is going on.
So you closed your shop this morning?
Yes, of course.
So what are you doing here if you've closed your shop?
I'm just roaming about and see what is going on in the system. Because I have nothing to say, because how things are going now. My sister, if we don't take care, we sell ourselves. Based on how the economy is going on. If you don't take care, we sell ourselves. Because day and night things have been raising up. When you go today and you buy something like 2 cedi, tomorrow when you come back it's 3 cedi, 50 pesos or 4 cedi. You see? So we are putting to the government to do something about how the situation is moving now. If you don't take care, we sell ourselves in Ghana here. That's what I want to say.
You can understand if Ahmed says that he will sell himself or we will sell ourselves. We will sell ourselves. You can understand how dire the situation is. Just trying to paint a picture of how dire the situation. But how long have you been doing this business?
Almost, if I couldn't say, 15 years now.
And has anything like this happened?
No. It has not happened before. Since I've been in the business, I've not seen this kind of things before. How it is now. How things are raising, I've not seen before.
So, Benjamin, you just can imagine what it is like for those who are into business here at the Opera Square, the Central Business District. I want to believe definitely that auxiliaries like the banks and others who engage with these business owners will also be affected. And but let me speak to these people and find out from them, even though they're selling on tabletops, why they didn't participate in this closure of shops. Hello, sir. Can I speak to you briefly? What's your name? Why didn't you take part in the closure? Okay, I'll say Debbie. He's just saying no. So, if you would permit me, let me just go down further and try and engage some other people here. I see a group of men gathered here. I don't know if any of them are willing to speak to me. Good morning. Hello. Please, is anybody willing to speak to me? Hello. Hello, good morning. Me pacho meti asese mani abrinta na mo two shops limba me pese me bisa say e den na mo pese abanye fa asemi hu in the nearest possible time.
So she pay mbotuma MPP bio. Nti ye pese ya na ye ama no no. O se ye pay mbotuma MPP bio. Eno wan. Nti ye je. Labado hospital babu egu o so onye. School bi o sempe. Esi wo o so onye. We call Liberty Avenue School so one yet. Sikan or the day or the attack on ya now they are to come VAT not. But the guys going to Tromaka. A man and Yamanaki country, a unique country. A man and Yaman monarchy. So we are winning in idea. Said to Sadianga, Mama Koranga, you baby. And on 4 man is a idiot. On 4 man is a idiot.
Me pacho eden na utonga.
Beton electricals.
Electricals. Now, how many years now? Why you say Jumari?
My more than 20 years.
Now, have you ever experienced anything like this in your 20 years?
Yes, I experienced it. Be that any. Mikasini. So for me, the same amount. This is my card. Enti kufuor baby odi akufa baby odi enko no. Yani nye ho. Yani nye obi kasa no atu no fo. No hajake no west. Yani nye opani enkasasa. Opani kasa mo pa mu votu. Water region or hen kasa so pa koye school no. Opani enkasasa. Se betimi on step down, to be fair and so on step down.
Right. So that's Mr. Ofoso meaning basically asking the president to step down if he cannot take care of citizens in the country. He's concerned about the posture of the president, some of his responses to issues raised. He references that particular one in Kumasi where the president was speaking about critics in relation to voting for him. He says that the president is matured and so he shouldn't speak in such a manner. For 20 years he says he's been doing this and he's never experienced anything of this sort. He deals in electrical. So Benjamin, I mean, you can see the banks are virtually empty. I want to believe that you would have seen some activity going on in the banks. I can't enter the banks now, but let me just take a walk, continue my stroll down. Let me find out from this woman if she's willing to speak the impact of this on her business. Hello. Yade. Okay. Me pacho to ne wa ha.
Pacho me to rice ni yam.
Okay. Now shops no me to no business na affect wana.
Oh, okay. I feel I'm happy. So no kwani nyame enem the business na run it say na de bia me pie ban.
Na what is some be to shops nim?
I say no me TV bisa.
And our customers here encrofo bensa.
Oh, my customers there microphone etwa mi o mutas china ha na wato ebi o mu amini o mu anso obi mutobi.
So this lady is telling me that business is slow this morning. She sells rice. She heard of the closure, but I mean, she usually sells to people who come here to do business, to buy from the shops, and the shop owners themselves. But this morning, she's saying truthfully, things aren't going as they usually will on a typical day like this. So just to my left, I mean, you can see an area of shops closed. All these shops have closed in compliance with that directive. On my left side, same as well. If you see any movement going on or any business going on, it's just with those who are selling on tabletops, who usually position themselves in front of the shops. Going further, you would also see that more shops there are closed. Like I mentioned earlier, I came to the Opera Square through Agbogloshi and the Rolling Circle area, and I must admit it is almost 100% compliance of what's happening. Good morning, sir. Are you willing to talk to me? Okay, no. Are you a business owner? Do you own a shop here? Or you're coming to do business? Yeah. Okay, all right. So he's just standing by waiting for somebody. Okay, so a gentleman has just beckoned. He wants to talk. Let me find out from him what he does. Good morning to you. Thank you for talking to us.
Good morning, madam.
What's your name?
I'm Kingsley.
Kingsley, what do you do here?
I'm a sales agent here.
Okay.
Nice.
So your shop is closed, I can see. But why are you standing here?
We just came to just ascertain whatever will go on here today, because it was directed yesterday that from today up to Monday we're not going to open shop. So that is why we are here, just to ascertain whatever will go on. That is why we are here.
But what are your general concerns about the economy?
About the economy? Oh, for the economy, there it is shattered, because we are not seeing anything that is going on. The government of the day is not doing what the people want. It's like they are doing what they want because they are in power now. And for me, as I stand here, I am very, very. I don't know how to say it, because I was part of those that I would say brought this government to power, and it has failed us totally.
You're disappointed.
Very, very much disappointed, because nothing is going on. Today, the dollar will go up. Tomorrow, it will just come down a little, and then it will go up twice, which is not good, because as I say now, prices are not stable. A customer will come today, will get a price, and later when he comes, we'll get another price, which is not good. And now we cannot even issue pro forma invoice for anybody. things are not going on well for us, and we are suffering as a people in the country.
Yet another person who says he campaigned for the president, he's disappointed with the turn of events. I'll wrap up with you briefly. The government says, look, we appreciate what is happening. The president said it was a difficult decision for me to go to the IMF, but there's a global crisis. Crude oil on the international market is also affecting what we are seeing here. How do you appreciate that angle of the situation?
If he happens to say that the IMF even is saying what is going on in Ghana here is not external but it is internal, so he has to tackle whatever is internal here before he goes out to say whatever he wants to say, because you cannot tackle. Listen, look at what is going on in Ghana now. Galamsey, you cannot talk about anything, and you are the commander-in-chief, and you cannot say anything, and people are spoiling waters around, and things are not moving well.
To be fair to the president, he spoke recently at a meeting with some chiefs on the issue of Galamsey.
But what did he say to them? He said he is in power. If you can vote for him, vote for him. If you decide not to vote, because he is leaving power, so he wants to just make everything scrabble for the next flag bearer who is coming to take over, and we are not happy with that.
Well, so Benjamin, there you have it. We've spoken to shop owners, we've spoken to those who depend on the multitude that come here to purchase their food and water, and basically you can understand that it is a near shutdown. Also because there are people who do not belong to GUTA who have opened their shops and are selling. So from the Opera Square, Benjamin, back to you in the studio.
This is my colleague Bernice Abubedo-Lanza doing a fantastic job out there from around the Opera Square. So my takeaways, I already shared my thoughts on the fantastic work done by Samuel Kojo-Brace, my colleague at around Abosokai. But Bernice, my takeaways, so the first one, the lady who says she is the daughter of President Akufo-Addo, and so she wouldn't want to speak on the matter. It's good to look at it from different dimensions. Then there's the second person who says he's been working in that central business district for 20 years. And he says some of the responses of Mr. President are in poor taste on the back of the harsh economic conditions we have to deal with. And for business people, people trading, people going out there to buy stuff, you cannot miss out on the last person who just spoke, who said, look, we can't even issue pro forma invoices anymore because guess what? Prices fluctuate so easily, so quickly. You can't issue a pro forma invoice because you issue it and maybe in the next 10 minutes there's a change and what you put there no longer applies. Well, that is the situation out there. And in the central business district of Accra, things have come to a standstill.